What's up, everyone? How you doing? It's John. I'm really excited for this video. I want to share with you a couple cool things in the emulation world. This emulation is always evolving. It seems like almost daily it's getting better and better. And this is the latest item I got. This is called the Pixelcade. Later on in the video, I want to share with you the latest version of EmuELEC 4.4. This is the test version. There's a new theme I want to share with you, and MSU Game Boy games, which has got new audio for Game Boy. It's a really, really cool update. But I want to start with the Pixelcade here. Shout out to Al, who's the mastermind behind this thing I'm holding here. There are, I believe, 5 different sizes. This is the LED version. You see the dots. It reminds me a lot of the classic pinball machines. I say classic, I think upwards to about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, every pinball machine had LED marquee like this. Full color, of course, and what's really cool in the back, I'll show you. There's a little board here, and they got the USB port out, so you hook it up to your device, your computer machine. These can be hooked up to the various sizes you can get for the arcade 1-up, mini arcades, which is awesome. You get them for your digital pinball. You can get them separate like this and have them displayed in your game room or on your N2 Plus device, as I have here, your Raspberry Pi, etc. I like it standalone. I can display it even when the system's not on. There is a micro SD card here, which is really cool, and then you can put images on there, and even when it's powered on, it will kind of scroll through various images and game titles, which is awesome. I love the look of it. I think it looks really old school intentionally. They do have an LCD version, which is without the dots, right? It's more smooth graphics. It's just like the pure image itself. Waiting for the LSD version. The LSD version is really trippy, I heard. I'm just playing, there's no LSD version coming, but also an animation pack available. I mean, NFL Blitz, great game. Sorry, I get distracted here. But there is a animation pack. You can get it's $20 extra. But select games like Donkey Kong and Defender, etc. Their games you'll have like a little mini animation instead of the game, the name of the game display, the title. You'll have the animation, which is cool, and it'll also show you the high score of like the top high scores. I think it's really cool. It just adds to the whole kind of experience of playing retro games. So I'm really excited to show you EmuELEC 4.4 test version for you guys. Check this website out. Show them some support. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I think it's a really cool product. And I think for those who are into emulation, who want to check it out, who are into arcades, arcade 1-ups, this is a really cool item. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's take a closer look. Here it is, the EmuELEC 4.4 test. I'm playing this on my Odroid N2 Plus. It's a single board computer. I prefer this over the more popular Raspberry Pi, for example. But as you can see here, the Pixelcade is fully integrated, which is awesome, the script. And shout out to my good friend Kirk, aka Cubert Addict. He helped me a lot with this build, and he's part of the EmuELEC team, so he did a great job. Shout out to the team as well. I'll put a link to both his YouTube channel as well as EmuELEC's Patreon page in the information box. But as you can see here, you can switch over to various games, emulators, games, and titles. You can see here it changes. The Pixelcade in the bottom right corner changes to that, so it's pretty awesome, and it really enhances the experience for me anyway, playing these games. What's also cool about this build, I'm going to show you, and this has been around for a while, but you can actually load game manuals, which is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and pick a random one. I'll pick American Gladiators, for example, and you just do a hard push, and you can view manual. You can also zoom in on it, which is awesome too, in case if you're on like a handheld, it's a little harder to see. You can zoom in, or you have bad eyesight. You can zoom in. Most games have these manuals scanned in, and they're really high quality manual scans. So pretty awesome. This does have the ability to play using NetPlay, and I do have a Wi-Fi dongle connected to my N2 Plus, so I can go retro achievements, which unlocks achievements when you play games. There's games that you can get points for. You can see high scores, which is really, really awesome. But as I mentioned before, with the Pixelcade, is you don't need an N2 Plus. If you have arcade 1-up, you have a MAME arcade, this is perfect for it. And you can also display it in your room on display. Here's a cool site here. Basically how this works is you hook it up and you link it to your IP address linked to your device. You go to this website and you can put custom scrolling text, which is awesome. You can change the color, as you can see I'm doing here. You can change the speed. You can also change the various marquees, which I'll show you in a second, and the animation. It is $20 for the animation pack, but it's definitely worth it. You can see that it does change the color, and it's very subtle on the camera, but it did change it to more of a turquoise color here. But it's cool. You can put it in your game room, display what you want. If you're at an event, I think it's a pretty cool thing you can do with the Pixelcade. Here's some marquee examples. Here, a ton of them loaded up here. This is linked to my N2 Plus through the IP address, as I mentioned. Here's Berserk, Black Hole. It changes really quick. I never played Block Seed. And we'll show you the animation too. This is the arcade animations. And these are really cool. There's various ones for like Super Mario Kart, for example. And what's also really cool is games like Donkey Kong, for example. It will show the high scores, which is cool. So it'll scroll the high scores and top scores. You can kind of keep track of that. So really cool. I love Here's Altered Beast, which is classic. This one's really cool too with the eye. Here's Bubble. This might be Bubble Bobble, I think, maybe. Anyways, you guys get the idea. So Pixelcade is awesome. Again, shout out to I'll put a link to their website below. I encourage you guys to check it out. I'm going to show you some more emulation examples. Here's Dead or Alive 2. Before I get into the game, I'm going to show you again the manual. There's a manual on here. You can again zoom in on it, which is awesome. Classic fighter. You can also change the emulator that you're playing on it, right? So I'm going to go to the advanced game options. And I'm going to select emulator. We're going to do the Flycast SA. We'll go back. There's various different emulators available. This one tends to work the best. You can see how quick it loads too. This intro for Dreamcast is so iconic. I absolutely love it. It makes me feel old because I picked up the Dreamcast when it first came out 20 plus years ago, and it still holds up very well graphically today. But what's also cool, you notice that when it said now playing when you play the game, the Pixelcade scrolled that, which is cool. And I got the digital marquee. I'll pick her. Kasumi. This is a great port from the arcade. You can see it's running at 60 frames per second. No lag, nothing. No issues here playing it, which is awesome. We're going to into issues with the N2 Plus is if you're trying to run like PlayStation 3 games and more advanced games like that. But here's back to the NES. Show you some. I want to show you also NetPlay. So when you want to start a game, you can go to NetPlay. I'm going to have a follow-up video very shortly on this too. But when you want to start a game, go to NetPlay, and it basically allows you to play with other people online. There is a cross-platform functionality, although this is kind of in the works. You can also see what other games are available that you can join. You have to make sure you have the same ROM, you have the same emulator. It is in the works right now, not working fully at the moment, but I'll have a follow-up video very shortly. Now I want to show you the Super Game Boy emulator. This is using MSU1, and I'm going to show you the MSU1 because the MSU1, which is fairly new, it really enhances the audio, the music, which is really cool. And we're going to dive into Zelda, which is classic, and let's just give it a listen. That gives you a good idea, sample as far as what MSU1 can do with upgrading games. There's a handful of games available for Super Game Boy, and I love that people are doing this. MSU1 has been around for a while for Super Nintendo emulation. It's been around. It's been out for Genesis, Mega Drive, obviously Super Game Boy here, NES as well. Just rolled out, so I'll do a follow-up video and show you how it looks on the NES and some more Super Game Boy. But I think it's super cool. It just totally changes the experience of playing these games. I'm going to now move forward to additional emulation. EmuELEC 4.4. This is for the Saturn. This is Dodonpachi. This is a shooter for the Saturn. Never released in North America. Came out in Japan, based on a classic arcade game. It's developed by Cave, published by Atlas. So a great team involved with this. And I just want to show you a shooter because there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving things in this game, and you'll see that there is really no slowdown at all, which is great. And it loads super fast. Let's check it out.
Okay, the countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go! Power up!
There's another shooter for the Saturn, only in Japan. And you can also star the games too, which is cool. So when you star them, they go to the very top of the list. Because when you talk about tons of games, it's easier to find them. I love emulation because it gives you an opportunity to play games like this that you normally wouldn't be able to play unless you had a Japanese Saturn, for example. So these shooters really play well, and you can play them in any language because it's not like an RPG where you need to learn how to speak Japanese. There's a lot of moving parts, and the music is incredible. So let's check out this game and go from there. We switch over emulators. We're going to go to the Flycast. This is Naomi emulator, and this is standalone as well, standalone emulator. And this is cool, Super Monkey Ball, which is a great game for the arcade. Obviously, it's part of the Dreamcast as well. And I just want to show you how it plays. It's such a fun and unique game by Sega for the arcades, and it's definitely aged well, considering it's over 20 years old, which is crazy. And the first one, obviously, starts very, very easy. Gotta get those bananas. Next game I'll show you, Naomi, same emulator, Flycast. This is another shooter I'm going to show you. And we'll add our credits in. This is Trezeal. Came out in 2004. But graphically, this game looks amazing, sounds amazing. We'll see in a second. It's another vertical shooter. I love the cloud look. The cloud design looks almost like real clouds, and it's got the different layers. This would be a really cool game to play in 3D, I think, for that reason. But yeah, this game's a lot of fun. I don't know. Do you guys prefer the vertical shooters or the horizontal shooters? I don't really have a preference, to be honest with you. But a lot of these games is just a matter of just finding the patterns, because it's a bullet hell. There's so many bullets come at you, and yeah. But it's definitely a fun game to check out. Definitely recommend it for Naomi. Final game on the Naomi is going to be Virtual NBA for the arcade. Great basketball game, sports games, kind of give you a little different feel for the emulation here. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you for leaving a comment. Thank you for supporting EmuELEC, their community. Thank you for supporting Pixelcade as well. I think it's super cool. We'll see you guys soon. Take care and game on.